Hello YouTubers, this is the Mooney here today, and I have in front of me the Valkyria Chronicles 4 for the Nintendo Switch, and I saw this at one of my local stores and decided to get it. I mean, like, it had like the regular edition over there, but when I saw the box, then I couldn't resist. Like, I thought about it for like a few minutes, and then I was just like, I'm going to buy this, and this is going home with me today. But this is the Memoirs from Battle Premium Edition. It has a lot of extra goodies in it that I really like. Of course, it has the Hoffen tank vinyl statue with it, which is really cool. It also has Claude Wallace, his journal that he carries throughout the game, and when he writes notes and everything whenever you're playing the game, journal art book. And it has 2 add-on side missions to it that are really cool. I've honestly only played one so far. I haven't gotten into the Advanced Ops. There's the Advanced Ops, and then there's the United Front with Squad 7 from the first Valkyria Chronicles game. That was available on PS3 and then remastered on PS4, which is really cool because you're really alongside them in that mission itself. It's like in the beginning of it, like, you can't really, like, I would say, control in the beginning, like for that mission, like Squad 7, they kind of do their own turns, but it's still really cool itself. I don't know if later on you're able to, because I think it has a second part for the United Front with Squad 7, but I've done the first part of it with them, and it was really, really cool. But one of the main things why I like this game so much, or this series so much, is for the fact that not only the art style, the shading itself, it's very beautiful. Just to pretty much say, whether it was on, I know the second and third one, I don't think the third one on PSP was actually ever released stateside. It was just from Japan, and then it did release the second one, Valkyria Chronicles 2, on PSP, but I've been looking online for that game, but a lot of people want like normally like 60, 80 bucks for it, whether it's in almost brand new condition or brand new condition around normally 80 bucks. So, I don't know, I don't feel like I have the right to at least like get it until I've kind of gotten through all of these. I haven't played Valkyria Chronicles, or the Revolution one that came out. I've gotten mixed messages online and from people saying that it was okay or it was not so great whatsoever. I honestly haven't touched that one. I've touched the first one, this one, and a little bit of, I mean, I remember a couple years back or a while back and stuff, I played a bit for the PSP, that one. But, I mean, one of the main improvements that they made on this one, too, is that there's a new class set on this one. So, of course, you have your scouts, you have your shock troopers, you have your engineers, snipers. But you also have a new class called the, oh man, I might be saying the class wrong, but oh well, Grenadier. And they're pretty much like this, this powerhouse, honestly. And actually, one of the Grenadiers is actually right here, the blonde lady, in the front of the cover art itself. But they pretty much like carry this large heavy equipment, and then they set it down, and then these shells come out, and it has a long range distance like that of a tank. It pretty much, they're like a portable tank in a sense. They're very, very powerful, and with them in your team, you have a lot of other different types of strategies that you can be able to do with them, or maybe not without them. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll go in the earlier chapters and I'll replay it again, but maybe with fewer people than before what I previously played, and to make it harder, more difficult for me, and try to get it to where I reach the enemy base as quickly as I can, with having that added extra challenge. You have the option of playing this game on easy or normal mode, as well as, of course, you have the option to download the Japanese audio for it. So if you're not a fan of the English dub, essentially, of Valkyria Chronicles 4, there's nothing really to fret, because you can download the Japanese voices for this game as well. Not only that, but there was other freebie stuff like decals and so forth that you can put on your tank, the Hoffen, that you can be able to put to the side, that are really, really cute. You should check on the eShop if you have the game and you wanted to look at that and so forth. Sorry. it's cool that they added this. Like, it was in the box, but I took it out and kind of put it in the actual Switch case itself. But it came with these little Nintendo Switch Joy-Con like little decals. And I don't know if I'm going to use them yet or not, but in case I do, I'll just keep them here, and if not, they're going to be in here in the case, where actually it's pretty cool. I can just put them there and they're kind of held in place like that. And I took out the actual on the back of these, this is where it has the codes for the stuff, but the Japanese voice pack, and then of course the 2 other side missions that you can be able to get whenever you get this here. The premium edition. I haven't seen that you can get this, or if you can get this, maybe you'd have to pay for it separate, the add-on pack for the 2 other side missions. It was like one code, and then it actually showed both of the missions that you can download simultaneously whenever I went on the eShop. But what I was going to do is, I have this out a little bit, so I've already cut around both sides, because originally my plan was to cut only this side and then push the box out that way. It didn't go out so well, because whenever they actually wrapped the box itself, they actually smushed the corners and it was going inwards towards the box before you open it for the original seal. So when I pushed it that way, it actually wouldn't go out that way very easily. So I had to actually make an incision on the bottom end, and it took quite a while. Like right now, I'm pretty surprised I'm able to take this out so easily without getting a little worried that I would damage the box and stuff like that. In the future, like, I know I really don't have much space to really display it, but in the future I hope, you know, that will be changed, and I'll be able to get more bookshelves and have like a dedicated section for my collector's editions, limited editions, launch editions, and so forth, like on display in a nice, neat manner and so forth. I'd really like to do that. But lots of beautiful artwork that's available on the front, on the sides, I think even on the bottom. But this kind of looks like, in a way, like a little briefcase, honestly. But it has some wording there, and it actually has some more. It's funny too, because it looks like little pictures that they put here on the box. I really like that design format right there. That's really neat. More artwork on that side, as well as over here. And then, I don't know. Okay, so not really. It has like the emblem right here at the bottom. But yeah, let's see if I can take this out without. Cool. So of course the game's not in there because I took the game out. I mean, that's why I have this here, and you saw it first off. So this looks exactly like the one you would pick up if you didn't get this Memoirs collector's or premium edition set. So after you remove the plastic on top, then you have your Hoffman tank right here. And you want to be careful, because actually I kind of put it on top, but this little flag actually isn't like on the actual tank. And if you miss it, or if you just like a person to where they just want to throw away the box but want to keep everything else, all the other content, just make sure that you take this out, because that would really suck. That you throw away something and you realize that your tank's incomplete because you forgot about the little flag that almost you can't really tell that it's there. But this is actually placed on the main board, so it's like in the snowy ground. You have your Hoffman tank right here, and then you have this Sega logo as well, but you can't really like remove it, or at least if there's any way or any type of way to remove it, I can't feel it. And I'm just lightly trying to shake it a little bit to see if it can come off, and then like can pop off and pop back on. But since I can't really feel that that's the case, then this is just kind of placed here on the board. You know, you put it there, and then you just, I don't know, like a little centerpiece that you can put in your room, talk about it. If friends come over, family comes over, if they're gamers, and they ask, oh, that looks really neat, where's that from? And then you have like a nice little topic to talk about regarding the game. But really, really cool. And I love the fact in the game too that you have the option of actually upgrading your tank. So whether it's the treads or the actual defense for the armor of the tank, or even whenever you're shooting and so forth, and the attack that's dealt on other enemy units and so forth, I love that. And of course, you can be able to, you know, change, like I was saying, like the decals around it and so forth. It's really cool. And you also get like other things that pop up in the game too. Like, this isn't just your main, well, this is the main tank, but there's other goodies that happen in the game also. But besides that, then pretty much the last little piece is honestly going to be the journal that Claude carries around with him. And I'll try to see if I can describe this the best that I can. So it doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel glossy in a way. Like, it almost feels, man, how can I describe it? It's, the texture is going to be different. It's not going to feel like an actual page from the book, or like a glossed over hardcover or soft covered book itself. It almost feels like it, not like felt, because that would be a little bit maybe up high, but the design for it almost like a light plastic, but it's very nice to the touch. Of course, this is just kind of on here. It's not an actual clip or anything, but what's really cool is that you can actually feel how when you put your fingers over it, you can actually feel a little bit of the dip as it goes up a little bit, to give it that kind of effect that it's there, essentially. So it's not just like drawn on and stuff like that. You can actually feel this itself as they placed it on here. Almost like the little grooves. You can kind of feel like the little bumps here, what would be like the little tiny buttons to hold the clip in place. Just a little bit. I mean, you can't really see that it's there, but it's not really like anything there. It's hard to explain. But know that it does have some sort of feel to it, and it's just not drawn on. So as this one's more like, of course, a stencil design, kind of similar, I guess, to this in a way, but this actually gives you a little bit more definition, more of a pronounced, it's trying to give you more like a, not a three-dimensional feel in a way. I don't know, like 2.5, I really don't know, but just know that it's not just a solid like drawn on thing and that's it, but it really does actually try to have a little bit of certain things that make it unique. The feel of the material that's on here, or the paper that they use, really cool. Now you can't really feel anything from here where it would be like the stitching, that's just kind of part of it, but the actual clip itself, and of course the stencil design here, you can feel it, which is really cool. And the same thing too for the back of the clip. It gives that same kind of definition. But yeah, this book itself just has a lot of like drawn artwork, profiles for a lot of the main characters. Don't really want to show too much, honestly, because that can actually spoil the game. But because that's kind of later on, like certain enemies and so forth. But on the back it shows like the different types of decals you can unlock. And if you don't want to watch this part of the video, then you can stop the camera now, because I'm going to just pick and choose like certain things to show. But if you don't want to be spoiled, now's a good time as any to stop the video if you want to. If not, I already warned you, sorry. But first I'm going to show you then some of the decals, because I know my camera's probably going to stop recording shortly, honestly. Probably have to get a recorder at some point, and like different metals you can be able to unlock. Because when the numbers on my camera turn orange, that's when it knows that it's going to shut off shortly. And like weapons. And then of course, like I was saying, characters. Oh, so cute. So cute. There's Ragnarok being himself. And then I want to go back to where it kind of shows, you know, the standard characters that you see in the beginning of the game. But yeah, I really enjoyed showing you guys this premium edition. I don't know why I want to call it collector's edition. That's why I had to double check. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll get back to those questions as soon as possible. Let me know if any of you guys are going to actually pick up the game or give it a shot. It's really cool if you like strategy based games. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.